Hi everybody, so here we are at video number 9 in the Learn Anatomy Challenge, my free series all about teaching you the key aspects of anatomy to learn for yoga teaching. So number 1, I want to congratulate you for making it to video 9. Now I hope that you have watched these videos in succession. I can only say that if you haven't, it's only going to set you back, because the order that this information is presented in is very, very intentional. And I want to kind of let you in on the behind the scenes logic for why I created this the way I did. One of the things that I always hear from yoga teachers that are trying to learn anatomy on their own through self-study techniques is they're not sure what to study. What aspects of anatomy do they need to learn? So each one of these videos that you looked at, each one covers a key topic of anatomy to learn. So that, and each one is presented in these videos in the order that you would learn them. Now, of course, I didn't present in each video all you need to know about each subtopic. However, what I am giving you is a valuable look at a learning path for anatomy that oftentimes is not presented to yoga teachers, even when they're taught anatomy the first time in their 200-hour training. Every yoga teacher seems to have learned anatomy according to a different outline. I'm not saying my outline's the best. However, what I am saying is that I've seen amazing results from yoga teachers who have used this organized approach to learning anatomy, which, let's face it, is a very complicated subject. So here we are at video 9. You've taken your step through every single prior video, and this last video here is all about sequencing. Sequencing is something we can only do with accuracy, with confidence, and in a way that will make an impact on our students when we've done all the prior learning up till this point. And so here we are talking about sequencing, so let's focus on external rotation of the shoulders. So let's say I wanted to create a yoga sequence and I wanted to focus on strengthening the external rotators of the rotator cuff muscle group. And the reason I want to do that is because people most often are hunching during the day, so those muscles that create external rotation are passively lengthening. So instead I want to create a sequence that allows those muscles to concentrically contract and therefore strengthen. So I could focus on a number of postures where I'm creating external rotation in the shoulders. Right, so here this upper shoulder becomes externally rotated even more as I take the half bind. Oddly enough, even though you may think this is internal rotation, this is external rotation. If I take cow-faced arms, this is external rotation. If I take dancer's pose, this is external rotation. So you begin to see, as I know more about anatomy, it's much easier for me to create a logical sequence with a particular anatomical theme in mind. This is much more difficult if I haven't done the preliminary steps to learning all those other pieces that need to happen prior to this higher level topic, which is sequencing, right? Pulling it all together through the modality of the sequence that I offer my students. So again, all throughout this Learn Anatomy Challenge, what the goal was, and I want to make sure that I do a check-in with you and make sure you got the most out of this. The goal was to give you a bird's eye view, right? Not all of it, but a bird's eye view into the main topics you need to know to understand anatomy for yoga teaching. And once you learn those main topics and all of what's contained within each one, you are then better able to do the two main things that we do as yoga teachers: cue and provide sequencing. Even if your cueing is not 100% speaking to the anatomy, it's always informed by the anatomy, because what are we doing? We're teaching people movement. So If you're listening to this and you're feeling like, yes, I'm having this realization moment, I'm finally getting an understanding of the key things to learn, your next feeling or thought may be, but how am I going to learn all of what's contained in each one of those individual areas? And how am I going to do it, right? Where am I going to go? So I want to give you an opportunity that's going to open the window or the door even a little bit more. It's still not going to give you the whole picture. It's going to be a nice kind of intermediate step. And one of the good things about doing things in small chunks is that you begin to build momentum. And with each step, not only that momentum grows, but you start to feel like you're making progress. And one of the other goals that I had around the Learn Anatomy Challenge was to give you at this end point here a sense of earning something, a sense of conquering something. And so what I hope for you, now that you're at the end of the Learn Anatomy Challenge, is that you have a better understanding of the key topics. And I would say, check the box, that's a win. The next thing that I can offer you is an opportunity to work with me in 2 coaching sessions. These will be conducted via Zoom. I will see you, you will see me, and what I will do is I will walk you through how the anatomy blends into the cues, and we'll pick poses that you would like to go over. We can also go over some of the content in some of the specific areas that were covered in each of these videos, or cover some questions that you have around anatomy that have been nagging at you that you just haven't been able to answer doing your self-study. Basically, these coaching sessions can be used by you however you want, or you can leave it up to me, and I have plenty of tactical things I can teach you that will give you some immediate results and immediate techniques you can use in your teaching. Now, why do I say coaching versus doing something like selling you my course or selling you my anatomy manual? Because number one, I don't want to sell you my anatomy manual because you probably have a ton of books and those aren't helping you near enough. What really is most effective, what I've learned in working with teachers, is getting them on the phone and working with them in a live coaching session. And when I say on the phone, I mean Zoom video conference call, so it's almost as good as being in the same room with me. Seeing them, talking to them, answering their questions, working with them in the context of looking at the skeleton, talking about cues. Again, essentially just like we were in the same room in a workshop. That is the best way for you to learn anatomy. I have to just be honest with you, you're not going to learn it from reading a book on your own. You're not going to learn it by just going through YouTube videos ad nauseum. Yes, this training is on YouTube, but it is a very specific training to give you specific topics, and this is really kind of decision point for you as to if you are ready to take the next step. Now, if you're not, it's okay. But I want you to think about, if you keep doing your self-study as you are, how long is it going to take you to get where you want to go? And are you even going to get there? Are you even going to get the skills that you want to attain? You want to be able to provide anatomy-based cues, provide anatomy-based sequencing, answer students' questions with accuracy and ease. Those kinds of skills are really hard to build when you're doing all the studying on your own. So I'm going to leave you with a link that you'll see on the download that you got. And this download link, the download that you got, this link is going to be to enroll in this 2 coaching session program where we will work together for 2 sessions, just as I described earlier, through going over questions you have, or I'm going to come with my own agenda. And the really great benefit to this is you're going to get my anatomy manual for free. So I'm going to give you that as a bonus. All you're paying for are the 2 coaching sessions for $497. The anatomy manual, which is $119, you're going to get totally for free. I know people like books, I know people like manuals, I know people like reference guides, so that I'm going to throw in for free, but knowing that the real value you're going to get is through this one-on-one coaching opportunity that I'm going to do with you. Note that this is just 2 sessions, so this is an intermediate step that leads you to, if you want to go further, to my full program, the Blueprint Learning Program. But I know that a lot of teachers are not ready for that. They're not ready to take that next step. If you are and you want to consider enrolling in that program, you can just get on the wait list for the next time I open enrollment for that. That's the Blueprint Learning Program wait list, and I'll include the link for that as well. So I want to thank you so much for your dedication to this journey of learning anatomy. I hope that you have enjoyed this free video series. If you have any questions, if you're confused, if you're looking for help and you're not sure where to turn at this point, and you're thinking maybe one of these opportunities is for you, but you're not sure, just send me an email, Karen@barebonesyoga.com. My commitment is to you and to help you be the best teacher you can be. My specific area of passion is anatomy, and so I would love to help you build the skills that you so want to build so that you can be the teacher you so are able to be. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste.